even though that Feixiao is coming, who looks to be the second coming of Jesus herself, Blade is going to be just fine. Comparing a single target hunt unit to a destruction unit is absurd and frankly unrealistic, but because this is Memory of Chaos, it will have some semblance of how you would wish the units tend to perform. Historically, destruction units tend to have the best time when it is in Memory of Chaos, and Erudition unit seems to have a better time in pure fiction. Now lately, Apocalyptic Shadow tends to favor, as of right now, either a dual DPS single target hunt team comp or a Super Break team, because again, Super Break is just way too absurd and I'm really surprised the developers haven't really nerfed it yet. Blade and Feixiao, even though that both win, offers different values even within Memory of Chaos. Again, this is all speculation because we haven't really touched to the dreams. Even though that she looks like to be a second coming of Wind Jesus, Blade is still miles above her in terms of comfortability. Now, you don't really need comfortability if you could just, kill the entire enemy in the Memory of Chaos with just one cycle. Blade's value has been so, I would say, side-graded or buried on top of better units, better mechanics, buffing to certain aspects of the game like break effect, or maybe in terms of like attack buffing units. Blade's value has been so buried beneath all of these other buffs that people tend to forget that he is a rather consistent DPS, especially if you pair him with a greatly tuned Bronya. His value doesn't really come from his damage, it comes from his comfortability, and he's very easy to build. The main problem is, as of right now, there is quote-unquote no dedicated support for a Blade playstyle. The unit that comes close to supporting Blade, quote-unquote supporting, because again, she doesn't really need to support Blade, but just so happens that her kit coincides really well with Blade, is Jade. Jade can give speed buffs and additional damage in terms of giving Blade what he needs, which is dying, and he needs to die a lot. Because of their synergistic kit happens to coincide with one another, it'll be interesting in the future if there's another way to help Blade gains his follow-up stacks. Maybe there will be like a buffer that is suitable for Blade. Instead of using skill point, they'll just take a chunk of your HP. All of the units in the game won't like that, but one guy in the corner is gonna have a grand old time. Now granted, this is just, dream theory, speculations. We haven't really know how the developers are going to approach this, but I can guarantee you that they're looking at the data sheet. Only they have the data, and they're already planning it, I would assume, like already 5 patches in advance. That's how this game company works. They look at the data, they see who's trending, and maybe they'll incentivize a way to make sure that either the current archetype gets another bump up towards the top of the ladder, or another archetype that is down below in the power rankings, whatever you call it, could get another small jump, either by a Memory of Chaos mechanic, either by another adjustment in the stat sheets, kind of like how in the 1.1 patch for Silver Wolf, they have a effect hit rate patch that reduces dramatically the amount of effect hit rate you need to guarantee debuffs, and it works really great with Silver Wolf. Or maybe they will just, do what they always do best and sell us another unit. If you're a Blade aficionado, I can guarantee you, the moment that you see either another Abundance unit that really helped Blade, or maybe another buffer, preferably a team-wide buffer, that helps Blade immensely, you should pick them up. The main key that you need to look at it is not from the DPSs, but from the core composition of that team. Usually, they'll design the system around it. Same example of this is Kafka. Kafka releases at a time where our only dot units effectively are Sampo. And then they introduce Luca, and then they introduce Black Swan, and then Ron May, and then Robin. You see how there's like a steady increase of power for Kafka because she has that main core gimmick of being able to detonate all dot at once. If we look at it from the Blade perspective, we can totally figure out that if there's maybe a buffer that synergizes really well with Blade, by synergizing really well, I mean taking Blade's HP and converting it into damage bonus, I can guarantee you that they are a must-pull for Blade and possibly future DPSs with the same gimmick as Blade. But again, this is all just speculation. Bottom line is, Blade is still goated, even though that Feixiao again looks to be the second coming of Wind Jesus. Let me know what your thoughts are about Blade and Feixiao in the comments below. Leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. As always, thank you all so much for watching, and see you around.